I have a client that has a reporting process that manually takes someone over the course of 2 to 5 years, depending, about 300,000 hours of reporting. Has now moved that into a 10-hour process.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Always Evolving podcast. I'm your host, David Black, here in the marketing department for Evolv. And today we have with us Hilary Rogers. Hilary, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about your role at Evolv, your background, and what your team focuses on.
So Hilary Rodgers, industry principal at evolv. My teams tend to focus a lot on different problems in the manufacturing space related to data and AI. So right now, a lot of my teams are focusing on processes that are currently large manual efforts and figuring out how to get to a place where that we can move to automation and digitization. So it's really interesting problems to get to solve with really smart people.
Yeah, it seems like we have a lot of those people here at Evolv, huh?
We definitely do.
Cool. Is there anything in particular that drew you to specialize in manufacturing in general?
I think it's just all the amount of different opportunity that's there for us to solve problems that are unique and to look at how we can make processes better even incrementally. So a lot of the things in manufacturing have been primarily driven by people being in those processes and what they're doing on a day-to-day basis. It's a lot of focus on the team members and what they're doing and how they're operating on the actual manufacturing floor. A lot of people may not even have an extreme relationship with some of these more forward technologies.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. So when you talk to these leaders in the manufacturing industry, the industrials industry, what's the biggest challenge you see that they're facing around AI and data, and why do you think it's such a big issue today?
So two different things that I want to make sure we talk about here. One is fragmentation. So much of the data that we're seeing in the manufacturing space, and really honestly across all of the different spaces that we're in right now, is that data is siloed. It's all over the place. Teams aren't working together. Data is in different locations. There may even be data that we don't actually know exists. So that's one problem. It's really hard for us to be able to move to a place of AI and automation if data is not all in a singular location and if it's not trusted. The second is that there's so many different options out there for data products or AI or different use cases that it's really hard to understand what actually is useful. So a lot of people tend to focus on just pushing new technologies out there as quickly as possible instead of thinking about how do we look at the people, how do we look at the process, and how do we bring them technology that works for them instead of putting technology forcibly on them that may not actually solve their problems.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Where do you see the manufacturing industry heading in the next year to year and a half? Anything leaders should be preparing for? What are companies underestimating about the shift?
I think what companies are underestimating about the shift is that everyone is going to be moving much more towards how can we implement data processes and how can we use AI for things that people are doing right now. And it sounds scary. It sounds a little bit frightening because it's like, is AI going to actually take my job? Yeah. And the thing that I've been having a lot of conversations around lately has been using AI as an accelerator. So it's not something that is going to come in and take your job. It's going to make you be able to focus on the most important tasks. So instead of spending hundreds of hours or thousands of hours on manual reporting processes based in Excel, now you can have a system do that. You can easily put that information in a dashboard, and you can spend more time doing strategic work or figuring out how to collaborate with people that are across manufacturing facilities.
What excites you the most about AI and data in the manufacturing industry?
I think it is really to go back to one of the topics I was talking a little bit about earlier. It's really the opportunity for people to focus on tasks that matter most. So right now, for example, I have a client that has a reporting process that manually takes someone over the course of 2 to 5 years, depending, about 300,000 hours of reporting. Jeez. Digitizing the process and all of the information gathering around that has now moved that into a 10-hour process.
So from 300,000 hours?
Yes, to 10 hours because it's always collating that information in the background. It's gathering what that looks like and it's putting that on there. There's no need for anyone to manually try to go back and figure out what was done 5 years ago for that process when they're asked to gather data for executive leadership.
So we're literally taking things that take years
yes.
into 2 workdays?
Yes. And that is one of the most exciting things about data and AI to me, is the ability for us to focus on the work that matters most, because that really is, at the end of the day, what makes people like their jobs. people don't like doing manual tasks. That's not very fun.
Yeah, you said Excel spreadsheets and I cringed because I just know how hard and unfun that is.
And that's the same exact conversation that I have with so many of our clients also, is how do we take some of those things and allow people to focus on what actually matters so that they can get to the meaningful part of their job and they can see that what they're doing matters. Because people typically don't feel very appreciated if all that you perceive that they're doing is filling out a spreadsheet.
That's awesome. Yeah, they're actually seeing stuff get done.
Exactly.
Awesome. All right, so if someone wants to explore this further with your team, what's the best way to start that conversation?
I think taking a look at how do some of these things that we've worked on match your vision. Reach out to us, have a conversation. Would love to schedule either a conversation in person, on the phone, talk about business processes, and then talk about what things are your people seeing and how can we think about those together in a way that leads us down a path that is best for you and not just technology first.
Awesome. All righty. Well, thank you guys for joining in today. If you have any questions and want to get in touch with Hilary, get in touch with the evolv team, please visit our contact page on our website. And if this is your first time watching the podcast, you like the episode, please give us a like, a share, comment, get the word out there. We want to talk more about always evolving. Thanks.